Now this clone don't move, he was born in a drum, lives by the rule 2, in silk pajamas, he's all deformed, 20-foot Palpatine, then along come 2, cut him just above his knees, they got different Snokes it takes, different Snokes it takes, different Snokes to move the world. Nobody's got a special kind of story. Nobody finds a way to shine. It don't matter that you got a die out. So what? They'll have hugs, you'll have bane, and I'll have 9. Together we'll be fine. 'Cause it takes different Snokes to move the world. Yes, it does. It takes different Snokes to move the world.
Hey everyone, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net. And today I got this drinking dude, and I got this other dude who's usually down low, and then he comes up sometimes.
You just said you're on the down low, bro.
Hey, I'm not judging.
Hey, look, in my defense, when you're at the Circle K, you got to drink. They kick you out. Otherwise, you're just loitering.
Yeah,
I'm a paying customer, bro.
Right? Yeah. So, Star Wars in game is like, is this Mr. Ward doing karaoke?
We're at the Circle Karaoke. Don't you know that? Yeah.
Different Snokes to the world.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually pretty accurate to the integrity of the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
It's what George Lucas always intended.
It was a great adaptation.
Yeah.
I know. I was looking at our like demographics, and it's like big sausage fest, and like we got this weird piece of the pie is like gonna dig it, and this other half's gonna be like, what is different Snokes? I don't get it. But all I could say is I knew what Gilligan's Island was, so that's your problem.
It was this, or it's a small Lando, and that was a whole lot more trouble.
Dude, why are you doing this to me? You know now I'm going to stay up all night. It's a small Lando.
It's like it's when Lando grew up on Cloud City or wherever else, you know.
Dude, I mean, I've never messed with those AI apps before, and when I started it, I was going to use Rey and Kylo for most of it to be the kids, and it was going to be funny because then they were going to like cut them in half, right? But it kept it wouldn't let me change the skin color, so it looked like I was putting Rey and Kylo like in blackface, and I'm like, I can't. No. I'm not going to do that. That's not appropriate.
Cancellation.
Yeah, I was like, come on, AI apps, like give me the option here.
So silicon racist guys, right? They're just like, man.
But I mean, I was just like, you know what? And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, Snoke's white too. And I'm like, but he's not even human. He's a strand cast. I don't care. I'm doing it this way.
He's an alien.
I'm doing it Bill O'Reilly style. I'm doing it live. I'm just doing it. But yeah, it was. I'm fucking tired. I can't lie. That was like an Amadeus moment for me. I'm like, I'm dying. It was too much. I stayed up until like 2 in the I had like a short amount of time before my kids went to sleep. And I could do my shitty vocals. So I'm like fucking nailing that down, and then I go to sleep, and I woke right up, and then I was like, okay, I have to learn how to use AI stuff. I don't have any clue, but I used that thing that you said to use, and it was pretty easy.
Yeah, that'll solve all your problems in terms of just like. I mean, if you're trying to do like a real thing, forget it. But for fun, goofy stuff, it's perfect.
Yeah, like I like to like mostly like make like I like to find like old 80s pornographic videos of like people in hot tubs, and I like to deep fake me into it with Ewoks. You know what I mean? And it's just for me. It's just for me. You know what I mean?
Like the wet fur.
Mm-hmm. Wet fur. I'm all. When is the deep fake technology gonna catch up to wet fur? Come on. I get that. Yeah, but in terms of like Star Wars news, it's kind of been a slow day or two. I mean, Friday was just boom, 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 and then that's like everybody's sleepy now about it because that's how it goes. But there was so Bespin Bulletin, who I think is probably my favorite source for Star Wars stuff that isn't myself, is the best, I think, at that gig. And when he reports something, it's always like rooted in truth or whatever, right? But what happened yesterday was Forrest Whitaker did a post saying, enjoying time in the beautiful wells before going back to set. So one question I have is Forrest Whitaker in Willow. I haven't heard that he is, but that's what I have.
Ghost Wolf.
Well,
he's played enough sorcerers.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Willow. I don't think it's ever really had it had a bunch of white people in it in the first one, and that was in 1988. So Disney Plus isn't going to be like, oh yeah, let's do it that way. So they're not going to do that, and so it wouldn't surprise me if that ended up being accurate. But he is in Cassian, a Star Wars story. So there's always the chance that there's something more going on with Cassian, or something needed to be redone, and he's going back to work after a break, and it's not over.
Or according to the new schedule for that series thing that came out last week, he might be shooting the new series Borg Gullet Pains.
Borg Gullet Pains.
Yeah. You don't want to end up in there. It's difficult.
Borg Gullets, yeah.
There was this person who used to write into my podcast, and they used to send hate mail. I think that was the story. I could be wrong. If they were just nice, I'm sorry, I'm misremembering it. But I'm pretty sure they sent one and they didn't finish it, and it just said, "Why do Ewok?" And for some reason, it was the funniest thing ever. So I'm not sure if Team DJI is referencing that.
You're like, because the wet fur is my thing.
Because you know how much I like it.
Tarantino's in the feet, Ward's in the wet fur.
What would you like to?
Wet bear fur. I almost said burr fur, which is Bill Burr fur. Yeah, but yeah, and then Star Wars in-game asked is he an Andor, and yeah, he is an Andor. So maybe, but once again, Bespin Bulletin would not lie to you. The guy, like, I've had enough conversations with the guy. That's why I hate even covering this in a certain way, because it's like, well, is it still filming or is it not? But if he got one wrong, he got one wrong, or it's just a stupid one to, something was different or whatever. But that guy is like real, and he tries. I know, because like sometimes people will DM me and they'll be like, hey, have you heard like Tommy Lee Jones is in Return of the Jedi Part 2? And I'm like, they're not making Return of the Jedi Part 2. Have you heard that they're not though? And I'm like, I guess not. I never even heard that. And then they're like, well, then I guess it's possible. Like they want to they like make it work.
He's coming back as Two-Face. He's gonna be Three-Face. He's got 3 faces now.
He's got 3 faces and 3 titties like that chicken in Total Recall. but yeah. But anyways, but what I'm trying to say is that like Bespin Bulletin, if he gets one wrong, he's not lying to you, and like just like if I fuck one up, if I do, it's not an accident, just whatever, wires got crossed or something. But but I kind of hoping it's Willow, you guys, because I think he would be a pretty badass wizard. Forrest Whitaker, Ghost Dog. In my Willow, with my Willow Ufgood, with my Warwick, Yeah. Warwick, he could be like the Willow version of Dionne Warwick. Think about it. Consider it.
He starts his own 900 psychic line. That's something that would have been it. Did you see that? What was that show he did at Ricky Gervais where he plays this like, that was brilliant. Or he what
was it called? Life's Too Short or something
like that, where he plays himself and his
his life's too short.
Yeah, and he like represents little people in Hollywood, but he takes all the good roles. People hated it because he was playing an asshole, but I thought it was brilliant. Like, no,
it was perfect. It was like I liked. I shouldn't say I don't like Ricky Gervais, but he kind of like he overstayed his welcome with me a little bit. He kind of went too far out of where you want your Gervais. And I liked that he just did that show, and it was like with Warwick Davis. It was like it had that sensibility, but without Ricky Gervais in my face.
And Warwick Davis is great.
Yeah, he's fantastic for sure.
And it has a great Liam Neeson's moment in the first episode, too.
You know, and like, because like little people in the movie industry have had a fucked history. I mean, they just truly have. And the truth is that some of them are very talented, and some of them are completely like, oh, you know, we don't. Yeah, but they're like, yeah,
but
the industry is like, oh, we don't care if you're good at what you do. Just be little, don't get bigger. You know, that's kind of like is kind of what it comes down to. But Warwick Davis, you could tell if he was as tall as Chewbacca would be a good actor. Like he's a good actor. He's a performer naturally.
I think the guy that was in Bad Santa, the black guy, the little person, he's good too because he's in tons and tons of stuff that he was in Willow too. Yeah,
he was Von Carr's buddy.
Yeah, he's got tons of range. Like
those guys have been doing it forever, you know. And it's like, I respect that they got better at the craft, if you will. And I'm curious though about Willow, because one of the things I haven't heard at all is, are they getting like a Nelwyn Village back together? Like, is there? Like, I'm surprised at how secretive that aspect has been, because when you get, you know, a couple hundred little people together, that's kind of notable sometimes. It gets in local papers and shit usually, you know, and I haven't heard anything about that aspect of it. And I know people working on it, hoping to have like concrete stories from it, but they're still making it. So that's like one of the things that I've learned throughout like scooping stuff is if you scoop or put out a story every time you hear something while something's being filmed, you fuck it up for yourself. Like, it's better to hear things than to write down what you're hearing and keep your notes. And then when you're on the back end of production and it's too late to change organization, then you start talking about it. But that's not to imply I know a shit ton about Willow. You know, I don't mean to do that either. But yeah.
Floating hand in space.
Dude,
Willow.
By the way, I haven't watched that Val Kilmer documentary that came out. I've watched part of it, but I put it on and fell asleep the other night, woke up, and like it's like Val Kilmer with like a is a tracheotomy when you have the thing to your throat so you could speak.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we got rid of Jason.
Hey.
Jason.
All right,
himself.
And what is going on?
It's the ghost of Jason Ward.
What?
You are not on the council, sir. That's just the only way they can tell you.
Oh, yeah. I become the Force Ghost, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Woo. Are you over there?
I felt so bad for Val Kilmer. I gave myself up to the Force. Okay. I wonder how I fix this new
it's
app.
Murder She Wards. We killed him, and it's the decomposing body, incorporeal ghost of Jason Ward, still doing scoops because he's got nothing else to do in the afterlife.
Now, excuse me, just one more question. What if you could be over there?
And it also changed my name back to my email of Gimme Scoops, my Gimme Scoops email. You know, maybe it's the Force. It's like, you know what?
It's telling you what
somebody's watching it right now. They're like, Mark Hamilton knows everything. Give him your email.
Melon's like, suck it. What else are you gonna do? Go back to StreamYards? Like,
you know, when it was actually funny when I went to cancel StreamYard, and it was like literally an hour or two probably before they were going to charge me again, and I was like, shit. I was like, oh well, bye. I got to do it. And they're like, hey, we'll give it to you for $10. Please don't leave. And I was like, $10 is this nice price. But then I was like, no, you failed me for the last times. So
and now Melon just kicks you off.
Yeah, it just gave you the boot, bro.
Did it boot you guys too?
No.
No.
Oh wow, because like on my screen it booted all three of us, and I
for a second it did, not right away.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then when it came back,
added,
it was full screen council.
Yeah, I added you guys back, so I think they must have had a hiccup. But I'm still having better performance right now on this bullshit than I was on the other thing, so I'll take it.
All right.
Yeah,
I like that we're the jankiest Star Wars cast right now. Like I appreciate this. I don't ever want it to change.
yeah. I like to watch Christina Gomez her UFO show on YouTube. Every single day they're like, oh, your microphone's broken. It's always something. I'm like, yeah, okay. It's not just us. And she had like Lou Elizondo on the other day. I was like kind of annoyed with him in a weird way though, because he went into this like whole speech about like, the best journalist, you don't know what their political leanings are, and talking about how like that's really important, for this, while he's wearing a Blue Lives Matter hat. And
what did I tell you about that guy?
Yeah.
What did I say? I said I heard an interview once, and he likened what he does to being called a racist, and I was like, can't listen to the dude now, because I just know this is like right-wing code, bro. Like, I've been in the military, I've done private security, I've worked with law enforcement, I just know these guys. Like, and when I heard that, I'm like, I'm not discounting what he has to say, but I just don't feel like I need to hear him say it. Someone else will report on it. Like,
well, listen, I'm just a Force ghost. Okay, that's
all.
I'm just a simple Force ghost, man.
I'm not Obi-Wan level. I'm like Qui-Gon level. I'm just a voice right now. I'm like,
you're not even Plo Koon level.
But yeah, no, I am a little bit like, like on that one. If you believe what you're saying and that disclosure is a nonpartisan like endeavor, why would you risk turning somebody off just to get your point in, or just to get your, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. Hopefully he cuts that shit out. Like, I don't really care if somebody has, I don't really care if like, somebody has opposing beliefs from me, because I believe what I believe enough, or am adult enough to have a conversation about that kind of stuff, where I'm like, okay, I could hold my own with why I've come to my conclusions. But I'm like, oh man, that would be like, showing up wearing a fucking Barack Obama hat or something at the same time. It's just like, you don't do it if you're trying to keep it like on topic about about disclosure,
Yeah, plus it's freaking aliens. Like, you think they give two shits about this is like, man, I'm gonna get on a rant that'll get me in trouble, so I'm not gonna do it. But, let me get into Force religions, like,
he's talking about Thrawn. He's talking about Thrawn, dude. Thrawn's real.
Blue is a blue life, but he's with the Imperials, dumbasses,
Oh, shit.
Think about it,
Shit, I didn't think about that. But yeah,
it's true.
Oh yeah. So, anyways,
yeah. Well, Plo Koon's Force Ghost is my favorite ghost.
Yeah, that's not what I heard.
Everyone does that.
I thought you liked the Addy Mundi, that big pointy head.
Addy,
I like
Addy
Plo Koon.
Mundi has a beautiful head.
Plo Koon wears a mask like Eyes Wide Shut, and I like that.
Yeah, we're gonna do it in 3D.
John
said no, but I told him we're gonna do it, so we're doing it.
Do you think he has like Illuminati style Disney parties full of sexy swingers? Full of sexy swingers with but instead of those like frilly masks, they're just Plo Koon masks. Is that how it goes down?
One guy shows up in a Ki-Adi Mundi cap. It's just like the hat that goes over. And he's like, you're banned. You're not coming back.
Yeah.
You're going to work on Willow.
Oh shit.
What I need to do, man, is I was thinking I need to do like little caricature, like chibis on the stick, and I'll hold them up when I'm doing, but I don't know if the camera will block it out, but I need to find a way. Something really dumb. Or a puppet, but I'm no good at making shit. I can only draw.
I just think it's awesome that I'm invisible.
You know, why don't you tell your kids you really became invisible today and make them watch the show? Like, and to see if they believe you. Whoa, you know?
Yeah, dude. I was like, it was like, you know, like the clothes are just left there. Like my screen name went away, and I was just an email address. It was crazy.
I wish we had the AR app that, you know, when you're watching the making of like a Pixar movie and they're showing like the early models and there's a glitch and it's just eyeballs and teeth talking.
Yeah.
Like, I wish we could get that for you right now. Like, it's just the eyeballs and teeth. Star Wars spoilers. Just see if we can gross everyone out.
You know what? One time I got to see a bunch of stuff from the Millennium Falcon ride at Galaxy's Edge, and ILM made the actual stuff for it, but then it was treated like a video game, and all these guys had to go scrub through the video game or through the game because people at ILM would like put stormtroopers someplace and decide like, oh, we don't want it. They would just grab it and like throw it into the wall, like where you can't see it now, out of sight, out of mind. Like if you're making a movie, who gives a fuck kind of perspective.
Right.
But when you're trying to have a flight simulator that has good performance, you can't have that kind of shit. And they were like, this is a nightmare. There was just all kinds of weird shit hidden all over and stuff. But yeah, I know a bunch of stuff about alternate versions of the Falcon ride that are going to come out someday. And I think we should cover that one of these days. I'll go through my notes and we could, I don't know if anybody cares right now, but it's probably worth talking about because I think that stuff, I think it will come out, you know? But, yeah.
They're going to charge $6,000 for that?
For the alternate?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be staying at the hotel and have the $2,000 bracelet. You know,
it's capitalism. And they can charge what they want.
Yeah,
it's their park.
Oh, I thought it was the people's park.
Well, didn't you guys mention yesterday it was going to go to San Francisco at some point?
I'm like, hey, why not just sell frozen Walt heads on a stick too? You know, like that would buy it. I'll lick a Walt. You know, like
that's a lot of Walt in your mouth.
It's capitalism, bro.
You know, I ended up like doing research one time to try to figure out if there was any truth at all to Walt Disney having a frozen head. And
it's true, man. It's true.
Jason, I really think we would have got along as kids. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude. I was.
Ron, get your head out of yours.
Rob, I was 38. I was 38 years old, Rob.
I was 38.
Right. But I don't think you've grown, is what I'm trying to really say.
That's what my ex-girlfriends say.
So it's like a compliment and not, right? But I haven't either, so whatever.
I'm like, if Gary Coleman didn't grow, I'm not either. That's how I decided when I was young.
I'm still looking up Phoenix Lights info. You know what I mean? Like, has there anyone had an update? Like, I'm like a nerd. You're like, Ted Williams had the same deal? Didn't he get his head frozen?
Well, yeah. So it turns out, and hello, Bearded Trio. Good to see you. Always Bearded Trio, check out their Facebook page, their Twitter, and their websites. It's good stuff. If you like the Bearded Trio, it's fantastic. Of Lucas, Spielberg, John Williams. Anyways, I was looking into Disney's head. Is it frozen? You know, can I go find it? Can I kick it around or something? No, not true. You can't. But I did find this fucked up story about this baseball player, and his head was frozen in Arizona. And some like kids go in there and they start partying, and like the security guards, like a fucking college student who's having like a kegger there, and they literally take the baseball player and they bat his head around with a bat. And kick it around.
See, this is like did you ever see the show Better Call Saul?
I decided I was going to wait until it was
first episode of the first season. Yeah. I think they heard that story. That's all I want to say.
Okay. Yeah. I've actually seen the first episode, and I was just like, when I saw it, I was like, I could tell this is good. I just wasn't ready for it yet. I'm like, I just went through all the Breaking Bad. I need a break. Then I never got back to it.
Oh, you really should, man. It's so good.
I want to. Yeah.
But they utilize, I think, this similar story, but they don't tell you right away. So like the people who may have done it have to explain it.
Yeah.
And then you realize who's defending these kids? Like, it's so good. Because imagine if you had to go into court and, you know, everyone gets equal representation. You have to go in there and explain, you know, maybe you start off with like their history in sports and they lost their dad and that was their favorite baseball game or something. Little League was the only thing they did. And then at the end, you have to explain how they batted around Ted Williams' head.
Well, it's really hot, Your Honor. They were in Arizona. You know, they might have had some heat stroke, and they thought
and he lost his dad. It was their favorite game. You know, like they had whatever.
Your Honor, one of my friends wanted to lick it. He wanted to put his tongue on it, but we stopped.
Yeah, we stopped. It could have been way worse.
I sent the different Snooks video to a collaborator of mine, musically, and I wrote, "Why did I make this?" They wrote back, "Because you collect clicks like Mr. Drummond collects black kids." That is so wrong.
That's going on the back of the DVD season release. We should box mock that up, like mock up.
That'll be on the cover of
special editions.
With those little things, you know, that you pointed out that one time, those little like leaves or whatever, you know,
yeah,
for the award with the quote.
Be in the steel box
with the little leaves, yeah. Worst idea, still watermark. Put the watermark on there, right? Since they won't get it off. Like,
oh shit,
they made this possible. Blame them.
You know,
where did Wammels come from?
Nobody knows. As a kid, I used to watch different strokes because in the back of Arnold's bedroom, he has a Millennium Falcon that's set up for like most of the seasons.
If that was the one shot you could have got in there, it would have been Star Warsy.
Yeah.
Damn, I forgot about that.
I know. I looked for it for a second and didn't find it. and
you didn't have to be out today though, right? But like that's how we get. We're like, if I don't do it today, it's never getting done.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I'm a write a bad draft and then see what you get, or you just don't do anything. You know, like I have friends, like other creative friends who like organize everything and like, you know, like me, I'm like, oh, the dirtier this room is, the more creative shit I'm going to do because I don't want to clean this room.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I've seen a lot of people I'm friends with on Facebook that are into like the same music and stuff, and it's a lot of them are pretty scattered. They show a lot of their stuff, but when it comes to their music, man, they're just like on point, and I don't even know how they get it done.
Yeah,
I downloaded Guitar Rig for the computer, so I can use the Scarlet, and I'm just trying to learn that thing, and it's got 100 million bells and whistles on it.
Yeah, I'll try and let you sign into my Amplitude if you'd like, and then you would have that too. Because I like Amplitude a lot. Yeah. By the way, if anybody does music, it is probably, I think, the best amp emulator out there because it copies all of the big ones, and you can move the microphone around and everything, so you can kind of get those sounds if that's your thing. But yeah, it's pretty cool. But the Bearded Trio is all. What you talking about, Willis?
Wills. What you talking about, Wills?
What you talking about, Wills?
Wills of the Force.
Wills. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is all falling together way too easily. Like, feels like a trap. It's a trap.
I know. Somebody else has probably already done it. I didn't even look to see if anybody else had done it. Somebody else has probably done it, and they're like, "What a copycat!"
No one made their own song, bro. It's always they grab the licensed one and they cut up footage, you know, like the Bad Batch A-Team, and that's cool. But you did your own song and you did the face replacement.
And I did the song shitty enough that YouTube didn't detect it as being the theme song.
Do you just let that? How quickly do you let that sit up there before it finds out? Like,
I don't know.
Because I used to get like when I would stream drawing, I was getting DMCA'd for breathing, and they would say it was a German yoga video from the Warner's Media Group. I was like, breathing? Really? Has it come to this?
Yeah, I had a friend of mine did a click track to a demo, and he would go click 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 on the guitar 4 times, and then the song starts, which is also how a Nirvana song starts. That I will probably get demonetized if I say the name of it, but it's on in utero, and he got a universal strike on that, or a universal "we're taking your money" thing for
no.
muting on the guitar. It's like,
Oh wow.
yeah, but there's like a ton of trolls out there though who they just like claim stuff too. It's like, what are you gonna do about it? But
I got those. I fought those.
yeah. One time on MakingStarWars.net, I had somebody who wrote me and said I owed them $7,000 for using a photo of John Boyega in line at the premiere of The Force Awakens on the red carpet, actually, and not in line. And People Magazine had sent it to me in their press release with their information being like, hey, will you cover our story on John Boyega? And here's a photo to put in your article. And I'm like, yeah. I put it in there, and then I guess People Magazine lets people buy their photos after they're done with them. So this person bought the photo and then tried to shake down everybody who had used it. And they were like we're filing and everything like that. They were really serious. So
it's like those same patent trolls that are based out of Texas that were doing that kind of stuff.
It's the same kind of like, same concept. So I told them they would get the money after they sucked my balls. And that's just what every single time I was like, did you suck it yet? Is my ball in your mouth?
Sweaty balls?
Did you suck it? And then they just stopped.
They feel dry.
I think they were just like,
good, just roll them around.
They were like, this guy's more petty than we are. Let's let him keep the money.
Yeah, I think you can keep that money now.
Yeah, and I was.
We'd rather not. Like, they took it seriously. Like, I guess I have to do this now. Like,
nobody will want it back when they have to break it in half for you.
Well, I mean, how much are we talking about? Is it like over or under $5? Because I mean,
yeah.
If I can't get a 10 Snoke pack at the Taco Bell, I don't want it.
That's the last thing you need, Marty, is a Snoke pack.
So Star Wars in game is asking a question about something I kind of saw something about. And it says, Jason, do you think Ventress will be resurrected to live action? And what is the new standout button here in the upper corner of chat? I don't know. Standout button? The upper corner of chat? I don't know. I'm not sure what you see yet. I haven't.
That's where they knock us off the stream and they get to go on for a bit, right? They just
That's
stand
cool.
out.
They're like, whoa, today is chat takeover. Oh no, what are they going to say? Anyways, so I read that Ventress novel that was supposed to be a Clone Wars episode with Voss, and I thought she died in it. But then I saw that they were considering using her in some other live action, or was it live action stories? She was almost in like Mandalorian or something like that. One of the live action shows or something. And I was, she was almost in Resistance, the animated show Resistance. Okay. And I was like, so they're just going to do no, just kidding, didn't die. And then, I don't know. But I will say, if she's not dead, if they just make that not canon, I'm fine with that in the end. I mean, or if they make it like, there was, you thought she was dead, but she's not, and they have a good enough story that's not just like no explanation. I'm after Maul coming back. That was the one that was like the one freebie I gave. And then Boba, I think they made Boba pay for it. Like, you saw Boba, he looks like he,
looks like he was in the Sarlacc.
Yeah, it looks like he was in a Sarlacc. He looks like, he looks almost as bad, not as bad as the guy in RoboCop who gets the acid on his face. It was like the most badass part ever. I love that part in that movie. But
don't touch me, man.
Yeah. But but it would be, it would be cool to have Ventress out there. It would be cool to have a story where Ventress is the person who brings the witches back. Because like the witches getting wiped out was a cool story and I like it, but I also like the idea more that there's like a cult of witches on Dathomir, and stuff like that. And we have that one character in Fallen Order who is like maybe like the last of them, kind of. So that's definitely set up to be a thing. But she was cool, you know. She had a nice design. But Ventress was like one of those like what the fuck characters where like you could tell like they didn't know what they wanted to do with her for a long time. Started out as concept art for Count Dooku, then becomes like a Sith witch for a time. They make her Dooku's apprentice in a cartoon. She's in the comic books, and then they end up making her like actually like they end up elevating her, deciding that she can't really be a Sith. It kind of goes against the whole thing. So then she quits and becomes like a bounty hunter, a witch and a bounty hunter. But all of it feels like just the kind of life you would have living in Star Wars in her story, as opposed to like a very Mary Sue thing where she just has everything. You know, it didn't feel bad. And for the record, I hate
the economy's rough. I got to change my career every couple years. You know,
I'm not good at computers. You know, what can I do?
Well, and she ends up going against Boba Fett in one episode. Boba Fett is gonna kidnap a child bride, I think, in the Clone Wars.
Oh my God.
And then,
Seinfeld says all right.
Yeah, it's like a princess or something. And then
he's your babysitter. It's all right.
That's a shame.
That's a shame.
Jason, I am astral projecting right now, and you can't see me. I'm with you always.
All I see is that Ace Ventura when he bends over and speaks. Let me astral projection.
Yeah. That sounds like my ability.
I got another great show we should do. Who's the Bosk? And it's all Bosk. Yeah, it's Bosk hanging out, right?
That one actually was on my mind as I was doing this one, but somebody else already did that one.
Night Clones? How about Night Clones? It's like
Night Clones.
All the clones,
Night Clones.
Right?
There you go.
Okay, only thing is, I don't think the theme
Night
song
Clones. It's the Night Clones, and they work at night. It's all my buddies. It's Night Clones.
Thank you for supporting the channel, Jason. It's way beyond the Call of Duty, but I appreciate it, dude. As always, totally appreciate it. It's what lets us get this fancy technology. I was in between worlds. That's true. The Bearded Trio said, had an email from MGM asking me to promote a movie by uploading a trailer. MGM put a copyright strike on the trailer after I uploaded it. Rob, shit.
I've heard of that. That is, I've heard that story before with, I think it was Sony or Nintendo. It happened recently, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
God, I never looked it up, but I wonder if I'm in the Sony hacks, because you know how there was like that big Sony hack with like all the shit talking going on. That's like all the emails and shit. Because we were at the mall where my ex used to work. And they're like, "Hey, you guys want to come to a screening of Robocop, the remake?" I don't know. Robocop's on the brain today, but I was like, I'll be honest. I think the Robocop remake was an okay Singularity film, but I don't know why you would make Robocop and leave all of the satire out. That's where I'm just like, oh, that was a mistake.
Yeah, Taika Waititi would have been a better guy for a Robocop movie at this point.
Big time, yeah. Actually, that's a really good call. But anyways, I went to it. You were supposed to sign a waiver, and I went to the restroom, and I came back, and nobody asked me to sign a waiver. So I was like, cool.
Like when Kevin Smith went to Prince's place, right?
Yeah. So I went on the website, and I wrote an article, and I reviewed it on Making Star Wars. I reviewed Robocop. And they were really mad. And I was like, I don't care. What are you gonna do about it? And then I eventually said, I'm gonna take it down just so you stop whining. But when I took it down, it was getting like 3 views a day. By that point, nobody gave a shit anymore. But yeah, I don't know. Like it wasn't like a bad movie. It shouldn't have been a RoboCop movie. Or, like it was like I thought it was an okay science fiction movie, I
think they should make Robocop, where it's just his head. Yeah, and he's I mean, look, he's not gonna live forever. but with that head, you can. So
yeah, that's true. I mean, fucking D. Bradley Baker though is going to feel really stupid when Andy Serkis comes and does different Snokes on Disney Plus, and he's playing.
He's like, I got night clones, bitch.
All of them.
D. Bradley Baker is a night clone. See, like it. D. Bradley Baker has a job. Can't fire me.
Okay, we can also do Gungan's Island.
Gungan's Island. I like that.
Lisa, sit right down and hear the tell.
We used to get in a boat and always end up back on the island.
Misa back, right? Like every episode, they go, but they get washed back to the island. Right?
Misa thinking no snow worky.
Nobody listens to Captain Tarples, that rich fucker, you know? Well, it's Boss Nass would be the rich one, Captain Tarples would be the professor, right?
All hands on deck is all the art of the deal, Jason style. But
Captain
if that's the case,
Tarples would be the skipper. Sorry.
I need all hands on deck to write it. Actually, the skipper's Boss Nass, right?
No, Boss Nass has to be the millionaire because he's rich.
But he's fat. He's funny because
Jason, don't typecast a Gungan. Right?
No, I'm fat. I'm fat, so I'm allowed to fat shit.
Okay.
Yeah. If I see George Lucas, if I have a bad day, I was talking to a friend and she's like, yeah, if you see George Lucas, you could just be like, you fat fuck, look what you cost. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fat. I can say that. That's our word. Our word. Our word.
Taking back our word.
Wow.
Sorry, wait. If I say that joke, am I being Blue Lives Matter Elizondo type? Sorry, I don't mean
that. Oh no, people are just confused. We don't know which side to get mad at. Like,
so my son right now is trying to sneak on camera. Little does he know, I became a Force ghost. We don't know why.
Oh, sorry, Luke.
We don't know why, but yeah, James confirms that this old Force Ghost's memory is right, and that Ventress is dead in canon. And I'm happy. I'm happy that she's dead because you know what? Fuck Ventress. I'm tired of all these
twin sisters, Solani Ventress.
I'm tired of all these fake Ventress fans that weren't there in 2011. No, I'm kidding.
I think it should be Asajj Ventress, Aura Singh, and that Twilight Jedi chick, and there'll be Dooku's angels.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's go on secret missions.
Yeah. Mark Hamilton confirmed they were going to put her in Resistance. I do think that they should take that book that was going to be a Clone Wars episode and just make it Clone Wars episodes and make it a little tiny limited series and call it a day. They already did all of the concept art for it. It's all designed. The episode just needed to be animated. I think they might even have done the voice work. So it's like, just finish that one up because she is too big of a character in the overall on-screen lore of Star Wars now that you just don't know what happens to her or, you know, so, but
yeah, on the first episode of Night Clones, the Bad Batch makes a surprise episode. They get caught by crosshairs. So they get wheeled in and, you know, they get detained and then they break out and hijinks ensue.
Do you, I will say though, whenever you cite your perspective, which is these books will get erased in a heartbeat if they want to do something.
100%.
The fact that Ventress was on the table says where the creatives' heads are on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going to use her if it's a great visual and a character everyone knows. I believe they'll do that before they create someone that looks just like her. She's not like a Boba Fett. She's not that well known. And some fans could be like, she died in canon, and they're going to be like, we don't care. I don't care. You know, like, I'll put her in. I'll run this place.
Yeah, she could be in Bathawui legal.
Yeah. Mail your envelopes to P.O. Box. Who gives a shit?
Man, Dave Filoni sucks now.
God damn it.
Dave Filoni's just drunk with power now.
Look at him.
He keeps talking about how he's gonna Lee Harvey Oswald Kennedy.
What?
Keeps saying
Every time
that.
I see him, that hat gets bigger. What is going on?
I have to say, if the people that make up the Lucasfilm Civil War have ever used Lee Harvey Oswalding Kennedy, I respect that. I would respect that. Not saying they were going to shoot her. That like Filoni was going to do it. Somebody who's obviously not them, to be clear.
That's why she won't have celebration in Texas. I tried, but they won't do
it. Yeah, he's all Boba got sobered up from spice addiction in the Sarlacc. That's all. Basically,
good guys.
Boba was a little bit of a crackhead for a time. You know, he got a bunch of money. He had a mild habit. He captured Han Solo, got a big payout, and it was downhill from there. He was too far into it. Man, one time I met a girl on a dating app and we started talking. It was nice, you know, she seemed pretty cool, everything like that. And we went out on a date and it was okay. And we go back to her house, as one does when a date goes well, and a fly flies into the room. As happens. It was a little bit of a Walter White moment for her. She started looking all around the house for the fly and was obsessed with killing it. And I'm just like, whoa, whatever was going to happen is feeling like it passed for both of us at this point. And I gotta go. Thanks for the good time, whatever, right? And then I'm like, that was weird. I'm like, was I just being critical? Was I just being weird, you know? And I'm like, oh, I'll leave it at that. And then she calls me the next day and I'm like, gonna tell her that, you know, I don't think we'll be going out anymore, but we could be friends. And that's when she tells me, I have to be honest with you. I'm addicted to meth. I tried meth a few months ago and I'm addicted to it. Can you help me kick it? And I was like, I'm down to kick it, but I'm not down to help you kick it. But yeah, fun times. That's Earth, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I forgot
why
about
I haven't remarried. They're crawling all around the ranch.
Land.
Yeah. I always thought that you were gonna say it was like Chet from Weird Science, where he's like, and his tongue shoots out and eats it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened after I left. I can't.
Buttwad.
After I left, I can't for certain say what happened. Okay, I can't.
I love that they gave that puppet the buzz cut.
Yeah,
that's why he still has the crew buzz cut.
Yeah, I like Weird Science and Pizza the Hut. Both of those puppets are kind of delicious. That was kind of like Return of the Jedi took the serious as far as it can go, and then those two films were like, here we go. Here's just it ridiculous, you know.
I just put it to 11. See, we just went and we turned it to 11 here.
Oh shit, we had to do Spinal Tap with 3PO. Okay, anyways, so Jason says he actually likes the Robocop remake too. Yeah, see, I mean I will say, I will say,
right? Yeah, I don't know.
It's no RoboCop 1, but I'd say it's the second best RoboCop. Maybe it's.
I'm sorry. I'll still give RoboCop 2 a little bit ahead.
Yeah. I was about to go. I was about to give it that
because it had the kid who wanted to be a badass.
Well, I went out with the girl who did nuke, and I found out later, you know. So I empathize with the movie now. It's all the Boba bunch. That's pretty good. The Boba bunch, and they're all clones, you know.
Yeah.
Here's a story about a girl.
I don't like the song. I don't like the song.
Oh, you don't like the song? Yeah,
I can't deal with that.
It is a little grating. That's true.
I can't. Yeah.
Boba Cop.
I just throw myself out the window. Bye.
Oh, that is gold, James. That is gold.
To Rob?
James says,
3PO's company.
3PO's company.
I didn't mean to say it before. I just saw it.
Mr. Roper. Think you could come by.
Mr. Roper. God, I missed that guy. Mark Hamilton says 100% they should finish both Ventress Voss arc and the Boba Cad Bane arc limited series Clone Wars. Yeah.
I thought you meant the CW. I'm like, no, not the CW.
Like, no, that's where Show's going to die.
In between all the violence, they eat at a burger joint and kind of like wish they had a deeper relationship with one another.
But how else are we gonna get Katie Holmes into Star Wars? Oh, actually, she kind of like
Jamie
had
Foxx
a career for a few minutes, huh? I forgot about that. But Mark Hamilton says, didn't you hear from Zero today that Deborah Chow has joined Team Dave and John in the Civil War? Are you serious right now? Is that really happening right now?
She took sides?
Fuck.
She's our Storm Shadow.
My sources say she's created a whole new faction called the Chowkuza. And it's like a whole mafia inside there. And
yeah, we were watching Kill Bill and we thought, let's do it.
Fuck. Filoni's crazy, man. You're crazy, Filoni.
He's got the backing of the Chowkuza? Oh my god.
The Crazy 66. That's our team.
Haven't you ever watched Black Rain, for God's sakes?
I wonder because they kind of rallied behind, they kind of used Mike Zero, the Phantom Menace types as a, oh god, Ryan is picking on the fans kind of thing, which, and I could see, like, I actually see some people having a legitimate perspective on this where they're like, you know what, I'm not Phantom Menace, I'm not anything, I just don't think that was right. Like, I could see that. But also what's not right is straight up lying about the work that somebody's doing. You could take issue with people reporting spoilers. I wonder about it myself sometimes. I go back and forth about certain aspects of it at times. But when you are honestly doing it, you are reporting reality. You're saying this happens. But like, it's like if I said, you know what, Rob is just drawing furry stuff all day, and Rob doesn't draw furry stuff. I mean, it's like the equivalent.
And I drink from my Chewy cup.
Yeah. Well, how do you think we met? We met on a fur lover subreddit. But
wet fur, Jason. I
wet
knew
fur,
it.
/ our wet fur. Yeah, but I mean, it's like I don't know, because like you're actually like saying, and then the stuff that they say or that he says puts an expectation, if the people like it, that you're not going to deliver on. So now it's like saying, Daddy's bringing donuts home. Daddy doesn't bring the donuts home. Daddy never promised it. You just said Daddy was doing it. Daddy's innocent. But it just comes down to like that kind of thing. But they rallied behind him. They made it sound like, oh, Mike Zero, this poor guy. And it's like, well, this guy's full of shit. This guy's a straight up lying fucking grifter. And yeah, so it's kind of strange. But I'm gonna say, guys, if he says it, I believe it.
Jason's on the Snoke high today, man. Maybe he gets that Snoke's out.
Yeah,
it's just like I'm going against the whole internet today. Who wants to fight?
Put your Snoke up.
I'm on Snoke Kane. I did a line of Snoke Kane.
I was gonna say Boba has the flamethrower, but the other button's for the coat. Old Crack McCullough's like, yes.
That's what those knee pad launchers are for.
It's what producers are for. They make stuff happen.
All right. I'm gonna drop some more Mike Zero level truth for you guys today.
Oh god, please do.
So Lucasfilm released a Boba Fett quote prototype costume. That's not prototype. That's just the same one from Return of the Jedi, but it was covered in cocaine after the blaster thing malfunctioned and just threw cocaine everywhere. And fun fact, baby Rick McCollum was crawling on the floor that day and did his first line, and it changed his life.
Allegedly.
I'm
trying to save you trouble.
I mean, he was probably like 27 at that time.
When they read it in court, they go, allegedly. Hold on. And when they get in court, they read it back. Allegedly, parentheses, Snickers, parentheses.
Yeah. But, I mean, interesting Mike Zero news, though. Today, I actually came across him a bunch of times when I was trying to find Snoke videos. He has the Snoke market cornered. Every fake story in the world was like, the sons of Snoke. Yes, in episode 8, Snoke is going to have 12 sons, and stuff like that. And it was on and on and on and on.
5 moons?
Yeah, 5 moons. He's dating the Khaleesi, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that's so dumb. That is so dumb, Luke. I love you, Luke. But that is so dumb.
That's great. That's a deep cut, but that's good.
Malister in the middle.
Yeah, that's good.
That is good.
Yeah. I was trying to come up with one for like married with children of the Force or something like that, but I just couldn't make it happen. My brain is just like, you're done for the day. You're done, bud.
So you can see Thrawn. He's trying to work it out. He's doing the math. I feel like there is. I feel like it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, let me see. Did it? This whole chat system is very, very confusing to me.
I got it. Married with the Chlorians.
So dumb. Also dumb.
And it's the Jedi who decide to have kids, but they're all fuck ups, and he just hates life. This is actually why we don't have children. Because the midi-chlorians amplify and they just become little shit fucks, They ruin my life. I used to be a Jedi. 4 clones in a single blow.
He's all hollow stink guy from Kiadi Mundi. Hawk Hologon says, "Ghost Dog, let's go."
Yeah, it's all.
Now I sell wool Mandalorian shoes.
It's all fun and games until Ted McGinley moves in next door.
So can't unsee 3 chitty Tommy Lee Jones.
Well, Ted McGinley is what Snoke started out as. He actually looked like Ted McGinley.
Right.
In
the jar.
Yeah, but then after all the coke, he becomes Snoke.
Snoke, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Or after being married to Marcy for a couple thousand years.
Yeah. Team DGI was referencing Why Do Ewok. I almost put Why Do Ewok in the ticker a couple of times, and I was like, people might just think it's just a straight up typo because I am the typo king. Yeah. What else we got here? He's shooting a Netflix show in Wells. Okay, so it that's what it is then. So it's not Willow. What the fuck, Ghost Dog? Come on, Ghost Dog.
Started with the W. It was close.
I wanted to believe it, man.
Yeah. Whatever. Your Saw Gerrera, thanks. Couldn't do more for me, I guess. But anyways. He's like, fuck that guy. You see Galaxy of Sounds and Galaxy of Creatures animated Disney Plus series are coming? No, what is that? I was out making Snoke videos. I missed everything today because I was like,
I gotta get that Snoke.
When you say it out loud, you realize how ridiculous all this really is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I when I started writing the lyrics, I was like, "What are you doing with your life?" When I was doing the first overdub, I was like, "What are you doing with your life?" When I was learning the AI app thing, I was like, "What are you doing with your life?"
Well, you're making a cutting edge new film. Snoke out.
We said we're making experimental films. Yeah, this is not what I had in mind.
Great American Snoke Out.
Yeah, that's a little too deep.
Wet, hot Snoke summer.
Right. I love that. I love that movie and that series. I could pretty much watch it on repeat. It's so dumb.
It's not clever, but hot tub indoor is, I think, a thing we could do.
Hot tub indoor. Yeah. Man. Yeah. I'd watch that.
You got a lovely view of the sky, fireworks, hot tub, fur.
Okay.
Wet fur.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but could you have something in one of your documents that we could look at and we could see if it works? Because we haven't tried it on the new setup, and I mean, it did make me go invisible, so that happened. But I'm here, and that's cool. Taco Donna Nights.
I don't even know how to add it to this. 1 second.
Taco Donna Nights.
Yeah, a lot of I don't on my end, a lot of the bottom of this interface is just like the old one for the most part. It's when you try to do the other stuff that it gets kind of weird. But
let me see
yeah.
here. Not video. Share.
We're looking through the zero looking glass, Mark.
And window. And
I hope he writes a book about his adventures called Less Than Zero, but spelled like Mike Zero. And then it has to be like right there with the real Less Than Zero, which would be great. Oh shit!
Well, yeah, because he'd be fucked up while he made it.
Mark, I love this. Mark's all yes, the Zero verse was split open once he recently changed future Star Wars content to future Star Wars material, then changed it again to future Star Wars updates. And then, is this easy to continue on? Not in this new one. I'll get the other part one day. Star Wars Santa says, just leaving a comment while checking out groceries at Walmart. he's like,
it's about as serious as we take the show.
He's like, sure, he's like, what's going on here? He's like, what are these guys doing?
What are they talking about?
So the Zeroverse is being given amazing coverage by Darth Melvin, Knights of Melvin. It's some of the funniest shit you'll find. So is Darth Melvin like a serious YouTuber, or is it like he's covering it like, you know,
like the Onion
funny
or something?
way? Yeah, is it like an Onion thing or whatever? Because sometimes like I saw that one guy who wears like the weird mask and like kind of like has like some like Nazi vibes going on, and I couldn't tell if that was satire when they were like using magic to spy on Kathleen Kennedy, because it was like I was almost like, am I being Andy Kaufman right now? Because that's how I always feel about Mike Zero. I still am not quite convinced it's not an Andy Kaufman-esque act, and if it does turn out to be the case, I am jealous that I wasn't Andy Kaufman, that I was the Danny DeVito in the story. That's where I fall, at least for myself. But yeah, what a day. Luke says, I like to imagine that Mike Zero is living in his own reality where everything he reports actually happens.
He's Mike Malkovich.
Maybe he's from where all these UAPs are from, like a you know, like a fourth dimension or something, and it kind of goes that way. Hey, have you guys ever like dug into that holographic? What's it called? Like holographic reality?
Oh, the Holographic Universe?
Yeah, that shit is.
Yeah, I read the book from like '94.
Okay, so you have, because I've only like come across it like, you know, on like with like YouTubers, like, but smarter ones it seems like, and it sucks because they get too into it, and then I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about anymore, Mr. Science, and
right.
And then, but I was like, but that concept is fascinating. It's like, you know, we live in a 2D universe essentially, but it's a holographic effect that is giving us our 3D reality, and that's why shit is weird. But I heard that,
like the way our brain interprets reality is similar to the way like you can take a flat image and it looks three-dimensional when you apply a certain laser to it. It's the same basic concept.
Yeah, I find it fascinating because I'm pretty sure that's where Mike Zero gets his reports, from that 2D universe.
Coast to Coast AM. That's where seriously, guys, like all this stuff can be like the biggest legacy Art Belt left us sadly is this never-ending conspiracy theory nonsense. Like that show cracked open something that has the real bane of the internet lies in Coast to Coast AM. As much as I loved the show growing up, and George Knapp and Art Bell and Ian Punnett, but Nat Nori, that guy. But that's where all these come from. Like there's just iterations of that stuff. Like 5G is HARP. You know, like that's the HARP theories, and you know, remote viewing now, or remote viewing Kathleen Kennedy's office. Like it all just comes back. Take any stupid, all the anti-vaxxer stuff came from Coast to Coast AM. All the Heaven's Gate cult stuff is what we have now with these people who like the flat earthers, Coast to Coast. Alex Jones people knew who he was, not until he was on Coast to Coast.
Right.
Like they gave him the big push. So it's just like it's one of those things that I just sadly I'm like that thing I loved has kind of probably helped ruin the universe as we know
I
it.
would, you know what? I think I don't think you're wrong, but I would take it back and put that responsibility on the lying government in the scenario that allowed for mentally ill people and the people that aren't very smart to have reason to not trust their government, and that opened up the door for Arbel's career, even, I would say. But yeah, it's fucked up, and it's and because like right now when I try and read like UFO stuff, like you go on like Reddit and like you go to like the like our UFOs or something like that, you'll see some good discussion. You'll see some like good like, oh look, what is this? Who knows? And then like some discussion on it. And I enjoy that part. But there is this other faction of people that will like never like they could be like, guys, guess what? UFOs are real. Aliens are real. They're from the planet Ted Danson and the Cheers Nebula. And then they're just going to be like, no, I don't believe you because you lied from 1947 on to whenever. Might still be doing it now, who knows? But yeah, and I kind of get it. You know, I mean, but I also think that you got to use your critical thinking skills here. Don't take topical horse cream and eat it to get rid of your COVID. Have you seen that shit? They think that they're shitting worms out. It's not worms. It's their intestinal lining. Yeah, they're calling it the worms. I got the worms, you guys. That's wild.
And they used to laugh at kids eating Tide Pods not but 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it's their parents that are it's the same
right,
same family.
Yeah, it's the same people. It's just their parents are doing it now. You know, the kids are eating Tide Pods and the parents are eating dewormer.
We gotta be cool too, man.
Mom and dad got on Reddit.
It's every AM radio station that ever sold them colloidal silver. Remember when people were turning purple from drinking colloidal silver? You ever see that? Because every AM show was pushing colloidal silver. That's how you'll solve MS. Sadly, my cousin has MS, and she took it and got purple.
Oh no!
So she had. I was like, why?
Was she okay?
Yeah, she survived it. But you know, when you can't get the help you need because all the hospitals are overrun with COVID, then what? At the time, didn't have COVID, so you could go in and get. But like, it's one of those things where you just look at it, and I'm like beyond. Well, if you just had common sense. I'm like, or perhaps, you know, if there was some level of like enforcement on companies that just this whole country was based on snake oil salesmen. Like, let's just be perfectly honest with you. Yeah. American capitalism, as we know it, is the traveling guy in the caravan with the phosphors and the you know, and the whatever, selling you some nonsense so you can't make your mortgage payment on your farm and take it off. Like Wizard of Oz is all predicated on that exact scenario. So
well, I mean when you look at the foundations of our country, it was, oh, there's no land, there's nothing for me here. Oh, I'm gonna go get mines somewhere else, and they don't stop, you know. But oh yeah, I keep meaning to read his comment of "It's always sunny in Tatooine," and that is good. I thought it's a pretty good one.
It's good, but do we need another sand show? Do we?
No,
dude. This new software, it barely makes sense to me. It doesn't like knock comments out after they've been shown. It like moves them up and down. I don't get it. But sometimes I'll read your comments twice now because I love you guys. Not because I'm dumb and don't know how to work this thing, because I love you guys. Luke says, I'm expecting to see a flashback of Cad Bane standoff in the book of Boba Fett. Yeah, I would hope so too. I mean, in a lot of ways, that would be an interesting way to both show round 1 and round 2 and to give that original story that they wrote some life more than an animatic. And also it would allow us to maybe have more than one episode with Cad Bane in it. You know, if he's in the if in the see, here's the whole thing: is it going to be like Boba Fett, like Mr. Belvedere, sitting down at his fucking journal, writing in it, and then you're like this is what happened?
It's been 10 years since I've got this place to myself. I think I'm enjoying it.
It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. It sounds
Omega got AIDS. No.
Oh, I forgot. It's been 20 years.
Space AIDS?
This is funny now.
Why do you say they're just gonna cut all the clips out and put them together? It's just a string of guilty evidence.
I would rather they do that than just make up fake stuff and Photoshop stuff. That's better.
You got at least this is effort. I was
at least
thinking
this makes me laugh.
At least maybe Cad Bane got another job on a beach and it's Bane Watch. Right?
Shit, Bane Watch. Oh, we're doing Bane Watch. Bane with big old blue biddies.
Trotting down that sand. Ooh.
Oh shit. Did you ever watch
the water down there? I'm gonna save him.
When like at like the height of like Anne Rice, like at like the height of like the Anne Rice kind of wave of stuff, when they did Baywatch Nights, like the spooky house. That was so good.
Yeah, dude. Baywatch Nights. I do remember that. That was great.
Got it. Yeah, me and Randy, we used to watch Baywatch Nights and Thunder in Paradise with Hulk Hogan, where he had a boat and he like went around having adventures.
The
on a
USA Network did you a lot of good.
Yeah.
I think there's a multiverse where instead of CSI being the show that took off, I had a million spinoffs. It was Baywatch that had the million spinoffs, right? And Thunder in Paradise and Baywatch Nights and all those they're in the Baywatch verse.
Yeah, it's so crazy that
Navy.
yeah, it's crazy that like Baywatch, like in Europe, or was it Germany, that Germans love David Hasselhoff bit.
Oh yeah, he's a god.
Okay, here's the thing though. So on I Was Stationed in '99, I knew that they apparently loved Hasselhoff because the Berlin Wall. Not one German knew who I was talking about. When I brought it up, I'm like, "Where's the Hasselhoff? Where's the records and where's your?" They didn't know what I was talking about.
Did they hassle your Hoff when you brought it up?
Oh, we were at the the Hoff Brauhaus, and that's what I could. We're at the Hoff Brauhaus. Where's the Hasselhoff station? Yeah, I know it's stupid. I want to the Hasselhoff. Where is he? I want to see him. You know, and they were just like, "Nah, don't do that voice in Germany. It doesn't go well."
Oh no, he's like, I saw some horrible video he just put out like last year, and it was on Facebook. It would pop up on my timeline. I'm like, why? This is terrible.
I like when he was all stoned eating hamburgers. That was like the most relatable I ever saw David Hasselhoff be. I went to Universal Studios when I was 5 on St. Patrick's Day, and I went and sat in Kit, and like Kit's like, "Do you have any questions for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah. My name is Jason, and I want to know where's Michael Knight." And he's like,
not here right now.
And he's like, he said, he's at a St. Patrick's Day party with his wife. And I was like, Michael Knight's not married. And then
he goes up your butt and around the corner.
Around the corner. But
turn right, get out my car.
I was pretty pissed. I was pretty pissed about it. And then I went to the A-Team stunt show, and Mr. T looked at me and gave me a thumbs up, and I thought it was the real Mr. T for like 4 years. I told people, I'm like, guys, Mr. T looked me right in the eye. It was like when I saw you McGregor the other day. It was like the 5-year-old version of that. And yeah, I'm still.
I was even dumber. I legitimately saw a van that looked like the A-Team van on the highway in San Diego in like '87, and thought the A-Team was in San Diego helping people. I had no drugs to blame it on, just bad imagination.
Yeah,
that's the they had when I went to Universal the one time was Kid and the 18 band.
Dude, they gave out Transformers for a time. It was like a big deal at Universal Studios. If you go to Universal Studios, we'll give you a Transformer. It's like on the radio everywhere. And like I got one and don't remember shit about it. And I was like trying to like look it up because I was like, were these exclusive Transformers? Are they worth $1,000 now? or was it just like a transformer? You know what I mean? Was it just like
It was a GoBot.
Was it? Yeah,
It's a GoBot.
but it wasn't actual transformer though. It was an actual like transformer promotion.
Okay.
And yeah. But I mean, but I can't find anything about it. It's nowhere to be found. I was like, just like Wonder Bread He-Man.
Didn't the GoBot have the walker that looked like the Imperial Walker?
Yeah.
It was their fort. It was their base. It also had legs.
You know, as a kid, I did not hate the GoBots. I could plainly see that it was the Hot Wheels sized version of Transformers. It made sense. I had that red jet. I remember playing with it underneath the Christmas tree one year. I was
Red
like,
Jet was
cool.
I liked everything. I didn't care. You know,
Yeah.
like the only thing I really didn't like, surprisingly, was the Droids cartoon.
Really?
I tried, man. I was like, this is not good. And I could watch the Wheeled Warriors. I could watch all that stupid shit. Centurions, Defenders of the Earth, all the B-rated stuff, you know? But that Droids cartoon was so fucking unwatchable. And the Ewoks cartoon, couldn't watch it either.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
I don't even think they had it on where I lived.
Really? You never saw Jason the Wheeled Warriors? No. Yeah, I watched it because they had my name, and I was like, yeah, this guy has my name. Like, this is my show, man. And I was like, they just fight plants all day. It's kind of dumb.
They fight plants, yeah.
Just like
Then
fight
you can kill them.
Just like I've never seen the holiday special.
So, okay, here we go. Craig, how's it going, Mr. Sheldon? I never watched that show with that name Sheldon in it because I never watched the other show. So any puns about that people get from that last name going to be dead to me. I didn't like the Droids cartoon either, but I love the Ewoks cartoon. Yeah, you know what that was weird for me. Okay, as a kid when they came on, I was just so thirsty for Star Wars that just hearing a Star Wars reference in a sitcom got me excited. So I never hated watching one on Saturday morning. It was no fucking Shirt Tails. It was no Littles. But it was, it did the job, you know. I was into it, but when I was about, I want to say around 94, when they put out the VHS copies, they did like an edit of Ewoks and an edit of Droids, where they did like a kind of like a bigger like volume. It was like volume 1 or something of like Ewoks and Droids. And as I was watching those, I was like, why is the Ewok cartoon so much better than the Droids cartoon? It was kind of wild. Wet fur, yeah. But yeah, it turned out that like they had a ton of ideas that ended up, so like some of them made them into the prequels, like Grievous's wheel bike, like the idea of like racing and the Boonta Eve stuff that kind of like has its like start there. And but they just couldn't get it past those Saturday morning cartoon censors, wouldn't let them do anything. Every time that they would have.
Meanwhile, Rambo's blowing shit up left and right. Chuck Norris is kicking the commies' ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
If the Ewoks had been fighting the Comilorians, they probably would have got it.
The Comilorians.
Comilorians.
God, yeah. I both am glad that they put Droids and Ewoks on Disney Plus, and at the same time a little bit like, ugh. Like I see it, and I kind of hate seeing it at the same time. It's just not very good. But at least it's in its like little own subcategory. But I want somebody to do a fan edit of the Ewok movies and make them like go fast. You know, I wonder if it could happen.
Like just 2 times speed it so we can just hear them all talk. Like this is better. This is better. Yeah.
There's a lot more action this time.
Add a fart here and there. Like when they did the climbing stairs, right?
In the beginning of Thundercats, didn't they meet some kind of Ewok looking things?
Thundercats, Ewoks.
Talking about Schnarf?
No, not Schnarf, but like after they landed and they made their little castle and stuff.
Oh,
like,
the Robears.
Yeah, Robears. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird. I never actually was able to get any of the Thundercats toys. For whatever reason, my parents wouldn't buy them for me, but I found a Mumra in the sand. So he was just like a bald ass.
That's
I found a Tila in the sand, and I was so happy. I was like, I got the Tila. Like, I was one of the few kids that liked the Tila, and now that everyone's like, it was my favorite character. I'm like, kiss my fucking ass. You know how much shit I got for bringing that toy to school? Like, I got smacked in the back of the head the day I brought my. I'm so happy I found it. Bring it to school to show. I got the one figure doing go. Boosh.
Yeah.
And they used the F word. Welcome to the 80s. You know?
Yeah, dude. It was actually hard to find Tila and Evelyn when I was a kid. Like, I never actually was able to find them at the store. Like, I ended up getting them. You got them? Yeah, right now. Yeah. Evelyn
in my pocket.
Hey, stop moving.
I keep her inside me at all times.
I keep her close, right next to me.
When I examine her to see if she's still there, she looks like Boba Fett, who's been in the Sarlacc pit. Luke says, it seems pretty purposeful that in Bad Batch they showed his repaired skull cap. Yeah, I definitely think that was an acknowledgement of the plot point that he was damaged. You know, it does imply that he got shot in the head. Shot in the head by Boba Fett. And I don't know if it was on this show or if it was on Santa's show, but I think Robert Rodriguez is going to look at Cad Bane as Lee Van Cleef. He's gonna.
You gotta watch that Ninja Master 1 and 2 MST3.
Oh right.
Seriously, just put that one on.
He's gonna see him through that spaghetti western lens, and I think I don't expect him to like live, unless they happen to be friends for some reason, unless there's like some kind of story where like he's in the gang. You know what I mean? He's like in his roster because Boba kind of sets up a gang in the Clone Wars era. And then you get the vibe that they respected Jango a lot, and that they had worked with Jango, like Aura Singh and stuff. And as we know, she eats it, she dies. And so, does Boba drop that gang mentality as he becomes more skilled and older, or does he keep that going? You know, that kind of like thing going. Because if he does, there's always a chance that Cad's on his team. But I still think if you shot Cad Bane in the head, he's gonna try to kill you someday. Like he's not gonna not shoot you back in the head.
Well, what if
Kane forgives?
He gets stunned again, and they have their little standoff, and he gets stunned instead of shot. Then they can just have him come back.
The little ring comes out. Welcome. You've been watching too much Bad Batch, buddy. Stunned. Fucking Star Wars, you watching?
Hey, I played Rose. Damn it. Okay.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Okay. So Luke says, "Wait, that was Luke." Luke, stop trying to get me to comment on you twice. Well, Luke said something else. In the making of Mando, they showed how they use those kinds of animatics in pre-production to compose shots, etc. I could see them just using that on used Clone Wars animatics shot for shot. Yeah, that would make sense. I don't know why if it happened to be a Filoni directed episode. You know, he's already directed the moment. Why would he redirect it? I mean, obviously just to improve it, but that would definitely be a starting point, I would think. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. You know, there's like so many indications if the rumors are accurate that we're just going to see basically the Boba universe when you get down to it. Like, you know, Bosk and Forlom and all that. All those guys are all going to be IG-88, and they're supposed to be a Taika involvement in some way, and so I'm guessing he's voicing IG-11 would be my guess. That like all the IG droids have the same voice maybe, and it's gonna be Taika. I mean, if he directed it, I think that would be out by now, considering how many I think we have all the directors accounted for, I believe. So
yeah, he's still on Thor.
So. Yeah,
and then better get off him. Craig says, "Not speaking truth." Rob speaking truth here.
About
at 439.
UFOs.
439. You were. So Mark says his Zero stuff is genius. Okay, I guess it must be satire then, because he says,
"Oh, Darth Melvin."
Yeah, I cried laughing at Melvin's videos. He tears into all the grifting channels ruthlessly. Oh, okay.
That's a talent.
Yeah, that's got to be thick-skinned for that because they love to come after you. Luke says, I just subscribed, Mark. Thanks for the recommendation.
He's like, I'm going to go watch those videos now. Peace, bitch.
he's all, fuck these guys and their old ass. I mean, he's all, what's older than different strokes? Snoke.
Different Snokes for different folks.
You just need to watch it. Melvin exposed Doomcock's other channel. Seems compelling. Was that the one where he's like the Nazi commander? Mark Hamilton said Meg did a great lo-fi indoor mix on her new music channel, Meg's Cantina. Check it out. Yeah, Meg definitely is like low key, like, hey guys, let's go out to Joshua Tree and take some mushrooms and experience some Star Wars with these jams. they are chill as fuck. Mark says check Reddit regarding those new Disney Plus shows. Yeah, let me see if I could pull that up right now so we could talk about it today instead of tomorrow. Because tomorrow we want nothing to talk about too. You know? Wait, you know what?
Just create a new video and we'll just talk about our own videos.
Yeah, I mean, there's. I wonder where on Reddit it is. Okay, so wait, is it Okay, so show off your favorite creatures from a galaxy far, far away with this adorable Wampa t-shirt. Celebrating Star Wars Galaxy of Creatures. Star Wars Galaxy of Creatures is a series of 12 animated shorts that explore Star Wars wildlife with heartwarming and hilarious vignettes. Available in youth and adult sizes. Wampa shirt. So, yeah. So
he literally eats people.
So, off the top of my head, though, Thrawn, we're getting a lot of background noise from you all of a sudden.
Oh, really?
Like TV maybe.
Oh, yeah.
He's
like, I'm watching Darth Melvin right now.
I'm watching his shit. It's funnier.
Yeah.
So anyways, I am both excited about more animated shorts because I do like those ones. Like they're just like chill. You don't have very much expectations for them, you know, and you're just like, cool, I'm just gonna enjoy this for like what it is. But after watching Star Wars Biomes, I want this idea in Star Wars Biomes. You know what I mean? Like I want.
Yeah, I like those little animated shorts when they were like retelling parts of the original trilogy.
Yeah,
like they could do more of that sort of thing. Even like EU stuff would be great, or stuff from the comics, or like things that they want to promote. But this stuff, like the Galaxy of Creatures, that Biomes. After the Biomes, I'm like, why are you making cute and cuddly Wampas? Like they're Wammels. Like do the Biomes version of Wampas and what it's like to be on Hoth, and like their mating cycles and
I mean, I would even support if they did that as a 15-minute episode with another 15 minutes that were educational about where they pulled from those ideas that taught kids and adults like things about Earth and about habitats and environmentalism and stuff like that. Like there is an opportunity there to be educational and fun or just fun. I don't care. But I want that in VR too. Disney.
We have
Disney
a
plus
cute
VR.
little baby Yoda. Now we need a cute baby Wampa.
Yes.
I fear that's legitimately what they're trying to do.
I want
to go feed it in the games that we're gonna have to do.
Minch Village VR, Disney. Let's fucking do
They're going to sell the Wampagachi, where you have to feed the Wampa human remains.
You got to keep it alive.
Yeah, it's a Wampagachi.
Yeah. Luke says Takadana Nights.
That is too deep cuts, guys. Trandoshan Nights, maybe. And
then we could do it with we could put Jake Lloyd onto Ricky Bobby's face. And he could be saying like, "I want to go fast."
Push and pull, baby. Push and pull.
Boon to Eve Nights, bro. There you go.
Shake and
it's
bake.
Boon to Eve Nights. That's the one.
Boon to Eve Nights. Oh shit!
And it's all the CD racing Anakin does at night to fuel his mom's coke.
We're gonna see how you do when you got that. There would be a Gundark I put in your car. We're gonna see how well you do.
Oh man.
See, his mom actually gambles away all their earnings, and at night Anakin has to earn it back on the side at the Boon to Eve nights. The Force and the Furious.
The Force.
Right, we can do this all fucking
Yeah, oh my god. I live my life.
So dumb.
I've never
Time.
I've never seen one of those movies because that was like dumb to me. But when I heard that they were going to space, that's when I was like, okay,
I still have not watched that. No way.
I think that's where they hit officially where I'm at with it, and I'm in. I'm gonna watch that someday. I'm not gonna watch any
Now
of the
you're
other
in.
ones.
Now
Took
you're
20 years, but now you're into it.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Walker, rest in peace. Whoever the fuck you were, you know.
Paul Skywalker, Force and the Furious.
Yeah,
I live my life a quarter parsec at a time.
I think I heard somewhere that he was up for Anakin, and then was told he was too old and didn't get it. And the prequels,
He's really not my type. He's a little old.
he's all. I like him more Canadian. He's all.
He didn't have the bee stung lips that Anakin has.
I like my bacon Canadian. What?
Yeah.
What? Little piggy. Why are you doing that, George? Yeah. That's why you don't let George party anymore. But
Ambien. Just saying. Gonna put that on the shelf right there.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, were we able to pull anything up, or we're just gonna call?
I
this
added
one?
the video. I added the screen
you
when
did?
you asked me to. Yeah.
Okay.
Right when you asked me to, buddy. It's been sitting there the whole time.
So just so you know, I see 3 windows. It's the 4th window. I have to scroll down to even know it's there.
I clicked the specific tab, so
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah, there it is.
no.
I scrolled it down. Now I see it now. Yeah.
So yeah. So what do we have here? Oh, we have
This is
Adrian Dunbar.
Yeah, this is some cut stuff from the Phantom Menace. So the first one would be obviously this beautiful little sucker. This is that cut scene of Bail Organa,
right?
And Colonel Sanders, and yeah,
Leia.
I like it when they say we can't recast Carrie Fisher, and I'm like, can you? Like,
dude, they need to get Stranger Things in that role. Like that's kind of crazy that they haven't. She looks.
This guy doesn't have a mouth.
He looks like Gaston in that outfit.
He doesn't have a mouth, guys.
Oh, that's Rick McCollum's slave. he's not supposed to be in the shot, but he was in timeout.
That's Slave 2. It's Slave 2. Little people know that, but it's Slave 2.
Oh shit!
Producer makes things happen.
It's starting to make sense where they met Dave Filoni now. What kind of clubs they were hanging out at? When
actually, you know why? The real reason we cut the scene is they have handrails, and we all know that in Star Wars. They do. Look, that doesn't make sense,
man. Yeah, it was. There was an issue of, was Cinema Fastique, I think, and they had a blue royal guard on the cover because they're like, we're hearing, but it was like Palpatine's one from Return of the Jedi. They just like photoshopped it blue back then on the cover, and it was like, we are hearing rumors that there's blue royal guards, and it was those dudes right there with the hot cut. That's like a Emperor's Royal Guard and flock of seagulls put together.
And they wear weapons in the Congress, so that's interesting.
Yeah, they're like, don't tread on me. Don't tread on me, Bail Organa.
I like how Bail Organa wears his pants up to his belly button. You know what I mean? Like, it's over the line there. Right?
That's true. Yeah.
And this is a look that needs to come back where we just button the top collar, but the whole shirt hangs open.
Right. You're like, you know what?
That still happens around here.
I wonder if he has his socks pulled all the way up to his shorts like a cholo. That's there too.
Turns out Bail Organa, he's a big Raiders fan. Actually, it was really fucking annoying. There. Yeah, at the ranch, we're more into the 49ers, but the fucking Bail would show up and just in skulls and bat. You know. Like.
Shit.
parking lot.
Yeah, I remember that ended up making its way into some like sticker books and stuff like that, and like maybe a kid's storybook as well. And then they changed it in the official canon at the time to being Bella and Tilly's.
Yeah. Well, that's because Dennis Lawson's a little bitch. So
Was it his fault?
they're like, yeah, make him related to Wedge. No one cares. Who cares? So this was some stuff that they shot that was cut, right?
Can you zoom in more on like each frame for me, like up to the top?
So I'll start with the first one.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. It doesn't want to.
Holy shit! See that picture on the very bottom? That picture leaked onto the internet, right there. This very picture was on the internet in 1997.
Yeah, so this is a scene they shot when they landed on Naboo.
Yeah,
and this is supposed to be the forest right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Qui-Gon says, "I feel the presence of the Sith."
Right.
So I thought that was interesting. And Padme had a line where she said, "The Queen has reached a point where she must go to war."
I think that line may have made it into like a Comtech chip or something. That line rings familiar to me right now. Remember the Comtech shit? That was so good.
Yeah, it was really dumb. There was those little chips that were embedded into all the fucking toys and stuff.
Yeah, it was like the action figure stand. That part was cool. They like tried to bring it back on I think episode 8, and with like a Kylo Ren thing, and my kid wanted it, and it sucked.
Unfortunately, just random clips of Rip McCallum getting high in Prague were embedded in a few of those chips. One of the biggest recalls. We really bit the bullet on that one. It wasn't good.
do you think?
Can't cover that.
Do you think like before McCollum left, he left like
allegedly
upper deckers? Think he like left upper deckers and all kinds of interesting places for Kathy Kennedy to find?
I'll show you fuckers.
See, you know how much of a nerd I am? I thought you were talking about the toy cards, like the cards upper deck.
No.
Like, are we calling it upper deck?
No,
no, in the tank, son, in the tank.
Guys, tank. The most drugs I've ever done is literally what they sell at Circle K, powdered
it's not
donuts.
Drugs. An upper decker is when you take a shit in the back of somebody's toilet or between water.
I really don't know that.
Yeah. Do you know what?
This is Jason? This is the kind of stuff Saul Goodman explains to me during an episode of Better Call Saul. You should know.
Do you know what an Alaskan pipeline is?
Because of Saul Goodman, I probably do. Like, he explained what a Cleveland steamer was in a whole episode. In court.
So an Alaskan pipeline is when one dude takes his shit into a condom, ties it off, freezes it, turns it, makes it hard, and then does another dude with it. Alaskan pipeline.
Nobody does this, right? Like, nobody does.
I have
come up with these an idea.
I have my doubts.
See, all I remember is, you remember those cheap ass.
Oh what? Shit! Dance party. Dance party.
Ringtone I made.
Yeah. Okay. So you remember those cheap ass like Otter Pop knockoffs you get at Alpha Beta that had like they were like 2 icicle things that set in the center like sausage links.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what that sounds like to me. Like someone saw that frozen pop and was like, I know what I could do. What if these were turds? And then they wrote it on the internet.
Yeah, I was told about it from by a gay man who never did it and was like, I've never known anybody who did it, but that's what that is. And I was like, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay.
The Queen has reached a point where she must go to war.
Then we have little Anakin going, "Damn girl, you fine."
Little people don't know Sith is just code for, Neeson has issues with certain people.
Yeah.
So it's code for.
Did you guys ever see when Ahmed Best talks about doing his first scene with Natalie Portman?
No.
He's like, "Damn girl, you fine," is like the point, the quote, I think. And that didn't age well on the internet. I'm wondering how long until people research that and figure that one out. Jar Jar cannot get a break. I shouldn't have mentioned it. Anyways, what does this say?
This is just Doug Chang from his concept art from '96 with the jets and R2.
Yeah.
So that was originally going to be in the movie, and then, but he describes a scene apparently. It was that R2 whistles a happy tune as he leans over the edge of the platform because there's no handrails. Watching the traffic, suddenly he leans too far over, falls overboard, reappears. I thought that was on a. Didn't they make that complete that on the DVD? Because I remember seeing that finally, right?
The cutscene is out there, and it was an action figure upon the release. Maybe even the first R2-D2 released from the Phantom Menace had that ability. And then everyone was really mad about it on the internet. It was the scandal of the week when that information leaked, or that R2 flies. People didn't like it. And then George Lucas was like, "Oh, really? Oh, really?"
He's not the only one who gets high in this universe, everybody. That will get us the DMCA.
Right.
So, actually, we go to... So then we have some random stuff here from the first movie. I thought that was kind of cool. Let me just start with... So, speaking of Boonta Eve, here's the actual model, right?
Yeah.
Like, to scale, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, I love seeing all of the models from the prequels. Like, one of the ones I saw the other day was, when Anakin is having the conversation with Yoda about saving loved ones?
Yeah.
That whole set is a little tiny model. And they're just comped in. Which, that's one of the few times I didn't even...
Yeah, it worked.
The blinds look so good in the background, but...
I thought these little, like, observatory stations, these rings, was just that thing at SeaWorld.
Yeah.
But you get into and it goes up and down, right? Like, you have to pay money for it, which my dad was always pissed about. Cause money? We paid to get in this place.
He's all... Bespin's all... He doesn't seem pissed. He is pissed!
So, but yeah, the scale of it was pretty dope. So, and then this was the actual, like, drawing for it. Like, how they designed it. Yeah.
I've never seen this one.
From October 20th, 97. And I guess it was finally revised in 98.
Okay.
So you can see here it says this is rock formations, 24 inches extension. Here they're like holes may be cut into set for desired camera position, then redress later. So
yeah, when
like right
when I lived in San Francisco, Foodles became really popular because it was the code name for one of the subsidiary companies on episode 7. And right there where Foodles is at is where they filmed all of this stuff. ILM had like a little like sub area where they had like their outside yard, kind of like what they're doing with Mando in a weird way, but it was, and then that's where they would go and they would film all of these models outside. And so this is clearly like the blueprints for that model that was out there.
And I thought what was cool here is you can see that the entire set is on wheels, which lets them change with the position of the sun. So that it can be rotated with the position of the sun to keep the same.
Wow. So they can shoot all day.
Smart.
Yeah. So it can be remain together and covered at night or be disassembled daily. So it's sectional.
That's cool. Yeah, I had never considered that they would really have to worry about real sunlight for those shots. Because like when you see models, you kind of always assume that they're just like lit in some warehouse somewhere. But so
I was outside.
That part. Yeah, it's pretty rad.
It is rad.
So thought that was dope. And then this is the overview map they made for the race.
But Rob,
the actual course.
Just watch it. Don't piss Bespin Bolton off. He's my friend, and I want you embarrassing me in front of him right now. So
he's like, I heard you was talking shit. I can't hear.
What's up with that, bro?
I was just watching Melvin, and Melvin said,
"Come at me, bro. Come at me."
What is this?
So this is the actual topographical map they made for the pod race.
Oh, okay.
And so the blue streak is the actual
the where they race through all here.
Yeah.
Which as you know from playing
Pod Racer
64.
Yeah.
Like you get a sense of like, oh yeah. I mean
I remember those spots.
I really wish they would build this to scale with all the deets in VR. Like I just even the one level,
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Like, so I thought that was cool. I mean, remember everything gets this is all hand drawn, so I thought it was pretty dope. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to see them do for speeder bikes what they did for pod racing. Like as a child, the speeder bike sequence was exhilarating. And then, now today it's not that amazing. It's something that we could probably do on this live stream to some extent. You know what I
it looks
mean?
pretty clunky, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's not so amazing, but like, I want to see a speeder bike chase that is at the intensity of the pod race.
Yeah, well, the movies, I told you, the movies need a roller coaster sequence, and riding a cow in The Last Jedi isn't it. Like, I get what he was trying to do, but that ain't it. You know?
We got a little bit of that, right, in the end of one of those episodes of The Mandalorian the last season, where he's getting chased. He's got the jetpack on, and the two troopers are chasing him down the hill on speeder bikes.
It was good, but it wasn't pod race intensity. You know what I mean?
No. None of them have even hit, even like the sail sequence in Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker, or the Millennium Falcon sequence on Jakku, which is cool. None of them had even hit the level of the minecart sequence from Temple of Doom, in my opinion. Like those are sequenced and staged out really well.
Right.
And so I was hoping, like, I know like the writers, Blockbusters guys, Jimmy George and them, they love the Han Solo, the race, the Spice Run, the Kessel Spice Run,
the Kessel Run,
the Kessel Run. But they're like, I never thought it would look like that. That's amazing. And I'm like, no, it should be a giant, cool, fun sequence, not like sheer terror every 3 seconds and nightmares coming out of the deep. Like, I just feel like that's one of they've slowly reincorporated things from the original trilogy that we can all go, oh, that's right. It's not just about the hero's journey. There's also the Western, and Filoni with the samurai stuff with Ahsoka, which, there's that Kurosawa, which is great, but we need the roller coaster sequence. Right. None of them have nailed that. Like, it's funny how George and them got all those in those movies consistently, but they've yet to nail all those sequences in one film.
Right.
Even now, even like Ryan hasn't nailed. I mean, they've all nailed parts of it, but I don't think any of them nailed all of that stuff.
And Bespin, if you want to come on, just let me know. I'll send you the link. You're always welcome and always invited. If you want to come here and yell at people and scream at people.
I heard you was talking shit.
I'm for it. Yeah, it turns out he doesn't have an English accent. That accent on his podcast, it's made up. He's like, what's going on here?
I use a voice modulator. Don't you know? This is how you get the real Bespin.
I'm gonna break him in half. Yeah.
I'm gonna put you in a Faducci hot locker.
Like,
I'm gonna give you the Bespin bullets.
No, this is not George's colonoscopy. This is actually it can be mistaken. Yeah. Mongolian barbecue does not go well. But the little sequence in the pod race where they race through the caves, that's one long track here.
Right.
And so like the camera had to go through there and like, it's on a little side rail and it goes here on a crane and had to go right through there.
Yeah.
Thought that was dope.
Yeah.
This is another angle right here. You can see like right in like how close.
Is that Don Bees and John Knoll?
No, those are just random white guys in jeans.
No, I see those fucking dad jeans, and I think it's them.
Every one of them was like, Steven told us wear comfortable shoes, so we got the biggest ones we could get. Like, and look what's down here, there. Coke. There's Big Colin's Coke stash, right?
Fun fact: if you look close enough, you can
right
see
there.
Big Colin's slave right there.
That's his stash right there, bro. We found it.
That's his foot.
That's the bag, dude.
There it is.
Somebody was walking in, he just kind of kicked it under the table for a second. Oh, nobody can see it right there.
Oh shit!
I did not plan that, but that we zeroed in on the information.
Uh oh.
Hey, who left this bag of Coke over here? This is disgusting. What's wrong with you people? I'm just gonna get rid of it.
I thought the camera was dope because it comes down and it's like ground level GoPro style, right? Like,
yeah. Yeah, imagine how easy that would be to do today with something like a GoPro size camera.
Or like, right. Or like, like in Toontown at Disneyland, they had like that really shitty little Rescue Rangers like roller cart, like roller coaster.
Yeah.
It'd be, like you could do like a little roller coaster on the Boonta Eve. I could just imagine if they went cheap, right, with Star Wars. The Boonta Eve coaster.
Galaxy's Ledge.
Yeah. Everyone falls over the handrails.
The only car we have right now is Dudbolt.
This was what I was talking about, like in terms of dynamic. This is a previs shot, but like then that came directly from Jug Chain's artwork. But like this is the kind of shots that we don't even have now in the movies too much. I think Rogue One has the most of them because Gareth Edwards, I think he has an iconography, whatever. He has that visual. Like I think he gets the visual iconography of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I dug in the last season of Mando as well when they made Cobb Vanth's speeder bike like that pod race engine with some like shit attached, like a sidecar on it, kind of thing. Yeah. Like that was a pretty fun idea.
Yeah, that was cool. And then this is just, I thought it was cool, like a cool. There's supposed to be a shot where they went around this like, I mean, it looks like the mouth coverings from the new Gunray character, that chick. What's wrong with her face? Right?
Yeah. you know it's what kind of funny is it almost reminds me of the weird statues from the Naboo from the Gungan sacred place.
That's like, what I'm saying. It's right.
Yeah.
We traveled through sacred place.
And this is one of the pod racers that didn't make it, but I thought that was dope. It's very Sithy.
Yeah, it's like very, very TIE bomber-esque.
I think it's pretty badass. Cool.
There's one where Lucas went full corny, went full corn dog, and he just put Maul in the race to catch Anakin. he has the Sith, right? The Sith racer already set up, you know?
I mean, what a better way? You haven't heard from them in a millennia.
Finish line.
They come out of hiding to win a race against the future Jedi.
And Cake, sending them up at the finish line.
You've been driving well, my young apprentice. You will show them your skill on the track.
Yeah, and Darth Maul's too busy taking dick pics to like pay attention to the race.
No,
and shit. What?
No.
It happened.
He was on MDMA. What do you want him to do? Leave him alone. He partied hard.
These were just Ian McKay.
Yeah, he takes those pics and he goes double bladed, baby.
I was like, what's this guy getting done right now? Like,
that's a Green Knight's mom.
That's milking in the sun or something.
Yeah, all that stuff has a very Mobius vibe to it.
Yeah, BK's art's great.
Bottom right looked like Pinhead, goggles on.
Yeah, it's like Roadrunner and Coyote left Massa.
So this was a shot that was cut that Terry Whitlash developed where there'd be like these little like hyena-looking creatures that were they're eating the bones of the pod racers who crashed.
Oh shit, that's pretty
so
funny.
You can see the mask and goggles.
Yeah.
Tattooing coyotes pod race sequence, and they're like looking at him like, "Come on, crash, bitch!"
I'm hungry.
Like this could still end up at a Galaxy's Edge if they did a pod racing thing, right? Because this is like a total like Mark Davis style Disneyland storytelling bit, like out of Jungle Cruise or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she did a book back then, actually, that kind of ties into the series, I think, in a weird way, of all of the wildlife that was created for episode 1 and had a lot of original stuff in it that I appreciated.
These are some different Coruscant Senator sketches she did, or concepts.
Yeah. Oh, wait, yeah, show me the other one when you're ready. Don't skip the other one. I want that one on the right. Is that the alien that?
Is that Moloch?
No, it looks like it looked a little bit like at first I thought it was the alien from Monsters that they reused from the TV show Monsters, but it's not. It's a different thing altogether.
Yeah, she just says Coruscant Senators.
Okay. Kind of like, yeah, it's obviously like, a sea lion or a seal or some shit, but it kind of has like a Jabba vibe with just like the tail hanging out the back.
Looks like a snail tail, like
yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
Slug.
Maul with a mustache design. Mustachioed Maul racing, goggles on.
Yeah, he's in disguise. Right? So I thought that was great, but like this is something that could easily come back. I think that's dope.
Yeah, if they ever make like a pod racing new game and dive into that stuff. That was like the shitty part. Both the good thing and the shitty part about them releasing Racer again, like the N64 version on all the platforms last year, was it was cool, better than nothing, but also like, does this mean that we never get anything else because of this? You know?
Yeah.
Because I know some people probably couldn't handle it, but I feel like you either get sick in VR or you don't. But pod racing in VR would be my dream. That's
Yeah,
what I want.
I talked to a buddy of mine who does a lot of VR games. He developed a lot of the tech for like the Spider-Man experience games and the stuff for Skydance, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Hey man, what about this?" And he's like, "You will throw up." I'm like, "Yeah, but that I figure you would if you're really pod racing. So let's really give people that experience."
Hell yeah!
Let's just make one level, you know.
I mean, I've gone hard on VR. I've never thrown up one time. One time I got a little bit close to feeling queasy, but it's because I had like a couple of beers and we played like.
Do not drink in VR. Like,
yeah, I
do not
did.
do it.
I did.
you will vomit.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, that was the only time I ever felt queasy. I could handle it. It's like, come on, man, don't let that kid that fucking can't handle peanuts ruin it for everybody today.
Well, my rationale for it working was I have the DK1, the first $500 home set that Oculus sold, the demo, right? DK, yeah, the first DK. And there was a demo someone made from the Tron light cycles. They put in the Daft Punk music and so you control it. It will just keep going.
You could do MDMA with Darth Maul, put that shit on, post some dick pics. It's cool.
Right. So like when I'm using it though, when I'm using it though, like, and I'm driving around pretty fast, I wasn't ever queasy. And I'm looking around. It was actually great to be in a racing game where you look behind you to see who's on your fucking ass.
Yeah.
Which I'd never been able to do before in a game.
Have you done the motorcycle one VR? It's like popular in Japan, and we just played it with my son in Reno. And then also in the Great Wolf Lodge, they had one too. And it's 2 bikes, a blue and red team, and you just get on there, and you put the headset on, and you actually have to dip the bike side to side to turn.
Yeah.
And it's like Rob said, you can turn around, you can see who's behind you.
Yeah. Yeah. That kind of. Randy has one of those like fancy ass gaming chairs where you put like your like sticks on both like arms and shit. And when we play the Star Wars game, I'm like laughing because like he feels like he's in an X-Wing fighter, but when I take the headset off and I look at him, I feel like my friend was in a terrible accident.
Star Wars Santa has the same thing, but it's just a sled. Like it's like you sit in the gaming chair. It's like a sled. He's got the reins, and you can. Just...
That's Slay One. Slay One.
Slay One.
Yeah.
That's a shirt, Star Wars Santa. Slay One.
Yeah, I somebody else made that one up. I gave him this is the sleigh. So
this is the sleigh.
So this is a quote by George. He goes, this is a film still in the style of an old Republic serial. It's now a big city movie. The first 3 Star Wars were from Kansas, but these 3 are from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's of course.
I agree with his take on it. I mean,
yeah.
And it's like, and one of the things is like, I like them, but if you don't like the prequels, it wasn't the designs that were your problem. That wasn't it, because that movie was designed. All 3 of those movies were designed beautifully. I mean, and you know, here's something else, man. Like I'll oftentimes hear people going like, "Oh yeah, the problem is like, well, the visual effects were done in 1080p, and when they scale up to 4K, it looks like shit." And I'm like, I put episode 3 on my TV like last night when I was like laying down to go to bed, and I was like, it looked great.
You want my take on this?
Yeah, I want to hear your take on it.
My take on this, and my friend who's a DP, he really does stuff for film and Netflix and shit. He hates my take on this. Okay. But having got a 4K, I bought that Bravia 950H last year or whatever when I got my PS5.
Okay.
A 4K, beautiful TV. The amount of grain that's in the 4Ks, I'm like, at this point, the 1080Ps look better.
When you say grain, do you mean the
it's not just film grain, it's just weird noise. They don't do noise removal. So a lot of times the worst offender for me was the Ghostbusters 4K. Because when you're watching it, they're like, well, he's like, that's the film. I'm like, look, I saw that movie was in theaters for like 3 or 4 years. Right. It didn't go away. I saw that movie 25 times. It doesn't look like that in the theater on the shittiest fucking film 3 years in. You know, these are not great film copies 3 years in. These are the ones that have been ran hundreds and hundreds of times. Right. It didn't look like that. It didn't look like that when we watched it on tape. Never look like that. That whatever that is, it's picking up too much information. It's when you over sharpen a photo and you see too many edges. It feels like that.
Well, like Ghostbusters was filmed on something fucked up, and it always looked weird like that. It always had a weirdness to it. It was like some kind of like high quality video or some shit. I don't really know what it was now from like memory, but who's that guy that was at ILM? And he used to have like he was balding. He used to have like long stringy hair in the back and then like cut it. Dennis Muren. So I was at an event and having a conversation with Dennis Muren. And I'm like, this guy is a fucking genius. Like, I've been looking at this dude doing magic at ILM since I was like 3 years old. We're talking about, and I'm like, you know what? I'm in the market to buy a new fucking TV. I'm gonna talk to Dennis Muren about what TV would he buy, because Dennis Muren's gonna fucking have the best idea. Like, he's gonna know his shit, right? You know what Dennis Muren told me to my face?
Go with the Magnavox.
He said, get a Vizio. He told me to get a Vizio, you guys. And then you know what else he said? You know what else he said?
$350. Yeah.
He said, it's amazing what they can do. They do this frame emulation and it makes all classic movies look like football games. And he was fucking serious. There was
You think he was just trolling you?
No, I was hoping. I was like, where are we going to laugh now? When do we all laugh, Dennis Muren? See,
this is when Rob just jumps past you and chokes him. Like Brody from Mallrats.
Yeah. I'm like,
because I read some comics, get started some shit.
It's amazing what fans can do when they get a hold of Dennis Muren.
Dude, Return of the Jedi.
Nazi!
All the Star Wars, The Abyss, Terminator, Jurassic Park.
There's a reason why he played a Nazi, my friend. I told you.
What the fuck?
Dennis Muren in Raiders of the Lost Ark stood in for the evil Nazi guy in the shot in the plane where he like lowers a newspaper. Yeah. And you see just his eyes. That's Dennis Muren.
Yeah, one of these days, like I'm curious if Dennis Muren's just like so cutting edge about everything new. You know what I mean? And it's like he's just like excited for tomorrow.
You know what? No, Dennis Muren is the psychic vampire. He's Colin Robertson from What We Do in the Shadows. He's like, the Vizios are amazing. You can take any old movie and it looks like a sports, and you're just like, and he's just feeding off your pain.
And my son was a baby at that time, like really, really young, and he really thought my son was like adorable. So it wasn't like I was in a conversation where like Dennis Muren was like, get the fuck away from me, guy. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that. He was just like we're all here at the Marin County Film Society or was something like that, you know, watching stuff, and like he was down to talk, you know, and yeah, to this day, like I'm like, I go over like family members' houses and turn that shit off for them and calibrate it for them, and I wonder. Like the dude who was the THX guy that Lucas gave the company back to before he bailed. I wonder if the THX guy was just like, Dennis Muren's a fucking lunatic, like the whole time. Like if you're that guy, like the THX guy, and Dennis Muren had to like just be like, no, they had to not like each other.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm the guy that would go to Fry's and change it on all the demo TVs because I didn't want people looking at that thinking that that's the way shit looked. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, and if anybody for whatever reason doesn't know, in 2021, they put on sports things, they put on the frame emulation, they turn up the brightness really high,
motion smoother,
motion smoother, and brightness really, really high. And then you go, wow, green, it looks beautiful. And I think we're prone probably to liking green shit like racing, a bag of weed. And what we end up doing is we just like we are drawn to it. And then it helps make that fucking sale when you already are trying to talk yourself into it. You know, you want to be talked out of it. It just talks you into it. But then you get home and you go and you put on the 4K Howard the Duck, and boy, are you taught a fucking lesson.
Yeah, or you blow out your TV in 6 months from the contrast being too high. You know?
Yeah, actually, that happened. My dad had a part that I had to change out for him twice, and after we turned that shit down, it lasted like another 2 years without that part getting all fucked
I have
up.
a 3D plasma I bought in 2012, but because Rob knows how to calibrate his shit, it's still running perfectly. You know,
nice.
But yeah, I mean, like look, I have the same problem like when I do physical art for commissions, like I did some paintings and stuff the other night. You know, the temptation is to blow the colors out to sell it online better.
Right.
But then that person gets that piece of fucking art, it needs to look the way it looks. But what you have to do is you have to film it under real light. Sometimes people just, because artwork is luminant, especially using paints or color pencils, they're luminant, they reflect light. Yeah. And if you don't shoot it right, like people will get it look in their house when it's dark. It's dark. Same with those colors. They'll turn on a TV in the daylight and be like, it's muted. Like, no, you're supposed to watch the shit in the dark. None of them are designed to be seen with, 12 o'clock noon.
Oh, all my family members like to put their TV on the opposite side of their big open window. That's what they like. I'm like, what are you doing? You're doing this all wrong.
Yes, drive-ins don't play during the day, fucktards.
It drives me crazy.
They should. They should have been like, you know what? Half off if you come in during the day and watch the shit. Just buy snacks. I'll watch it. Who cares?
My neighbor has that across the street. They have their TV facing the window, and they get sun all day.
Yeah,
through that window.
I mean, unless
the fact that Dennis Muren loves motion smoothing, you ruin my.
Isn't that crazy to me? I mean, it's like,
yeah, that is nuts. It is a Colin Robertson move. If you don't watch What We Do in the Shadows, you're not getting it. But it is.
Oh yeah, I know. I watch it. Yeah. That's my favorite show.
It's so fucking great. I think the new season starts tomorrow. But yeah,
it does start tomorrow.
That's on Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah, dude, Jason, it's fucking awesome.
Jackie Daytona. From now on, everybody knows Jackie Daytona.
Yeah, I watched the film and I watched a couple episodes of the series, and it seemed good. But I was just
whenever I quote Mark Hamill, you don't get what I'm quoting because it's from that show. Ravensworth.
Ravensworth.
All right, shit. We got one more. Are we done? We done for today?
Is this the final one or no?
No.
Okay, then we'll call it. We'll call it a day.
Here's the final one. Look, there's concept art.
Oh right. But
what I thought was cool is look at the hair on Qui. Look at this is when Obi-Wan and Anakin were the two. Look at that.
Yeah, that is pretty cool looking.
You can see, right?
Yeah.
Or Obi-Wan's like 12 and he's super fucking old, but it's different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Star Wars Visions, but it would be so cool to see something animated directly in the Doug Chiang style. Like,
well, here's the thing too. Like, this is what I was trying to tell you about with the films. When you look at modern concept art, it's done too quickly. I'm not saying that they need lots of concepts. They do, but they need someone to spearhead a visual look for the film and 12 key paintings. The way Macquarie did that, and it really works. I think it just the problem when you see a lack of decision making, sometimes it's because they get too many fucking options. It's like that scene remember that Robin Williams movie where he was from Russia and he goes to the store for the American store for the first time and there's like 18 bottles of peanut butter or cereal. He doesn't know what the fucking thing to get because he grew up in Soviet Russia where they had one. Yeah, I just feel like too many options. Like this sort of painting, the time it took to compose it, to paint it, get it all right, the framing, this sets the fucking look for the whole thing,
So what you're saying is Ralph McQuarrie was the prequel era of art, and Doug Chiang is the original trilogy era of art. Because
the other way around.
The other way around.
No, I'm right.
Don't know where you're going with this one.
Because the design becomes more muted as we move into the industrialized, imperialistic, less colors to paint with kind of stuff. And but in our reality, it tracks with 2021.
So there's Obi-Wan there. That would be Anakin in a little Jedi outfit.
No, actually, you are wrong. The little one is Obi-Wan Kenobi. He hadn't grown up yet, and the old one is Anakin, who had Benjamin Buttons. No,
it's Joby-Wan.
You know what? Actually, that is Qui-Gon because Obi-Wan's over to the right.
That's what I'm saying. Obi-Wan's right here.
Yeah. So that's Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon.
I got confused.
Yeah. He just has. Liam Neeson was just like, I'm not getting gray
He's sitting
hair.
on the women. He's like, hey, Keira Knightley. Yeah. Keira Knightley.
How's it going, Keira Knightley?
I drive a PT Cruiser.
She's like, get away from me, PT loser.
Ooh, that's when they add the ooh tracks. The prequel. Ooh.
It was 1994 when they were writing this. That tracks too. Yeah.
All right, man. That's all I got for today.
And bring back Montel Williams as Mace Windu. Let's do it. Did you guys know that fucking Tupac was supposedly considered for Mace? Like they seriously considered Tupac for Mace. Then he got shot.
I mean, look, I don't know if he could act or not, but you know, he could definitely sit there and just give Yoda a look. I mean, that's for certain.
No, he could act. The Poetic Justice and the other movie where he was ended up shooting his friends, that was a good movie too. Yeah,
we almost got Tupac as Mace Windu probably in the Zero. Actually, that's too real for the Zero reality, unfortunately. But all right, well, I am thankful to everyone who's hung out with us today on our weird day, and thank you for watching the video and our video that we did this morning or a little earlier today. And thanks to all of the channel members and Patreon supporters. I really do appreciate the support of the channel. And we will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m.
San Dimas!
And because right now is the best time. And because strange things are afoot at the Circle K. And but we'll be back tomorrow reporting on any news. If there's no news, then we're going to be stupid. And if you're getting mad that we're stupid, then give me some news. Easy.
They're like, don't do a show. I'm like, the algorithm doesn't appreciate that. We have to do a show.
We got to do a show.
Yeah. The show does what it wants. The show is out of.
See, today the show is like from New York, but yesterday it was like from Kansas. So you're on just a New York cocaine high right now, like Crank McCollum.
All right, guys, we will see you guys tomorrow, and I'm gonna end it on what I worked my ass off on.
Now this clone don't move, he was born in a drum, lives by the rule 2, in silk pajamas, he's all deformed, 20-foot Palpatine, then along come 2, cut him just above his knees, they got different Snokes it takes, different Snokes it takes, different Snokes to move the world. Nobody's got a special kind of story. Nobody finds a way to shine. It don't matter that you got a doubt. So what? They'll have hugs, you'll have pain, and I'll have 9. Together we'll be fine. 'Cause it takes different Snokes to move the world. Yes, it does. It takes different Snokes